Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope you had a great day overall, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. Figured out to tap in with y'all real quick to discuss the fight that had occurred earlier on today out in Riyadh. You know what I mean? The night of the samurai. You know, I told you guys to keep y'all eyes peeled because based off of the way Riyadh season events go, it always seems to be some type of upset. You know what I mean? They try to over-marinate fights and they end up paying the price as a result of that. And I told y'all to keep y'all eyes locked in on Nakatani versus Sebastian Hernandez. I told y'all to keep your eyes open on Inoue versus David Picasso. And congratulations to Inoue for getting a dominant decision victory over David Picasso. You feel what I'm saying? But Junto Nakatani, on the other hand, was on the verge of getting upset. Not on the judges' scorecards, but in the people's eyes. In a lot of people's eyes, a lot of people had even saw Junto Nakatani take a loss earlier today. So what I'm going to say is, and I got in a shit ton of DMs about it, man, I'm going to just keep it as honest and objective with y'all as possible. You know what I'm saying? But before we get into that, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're about to hit that 3,300 mark. Shout out to the Nation of the Mouth for making this possible, right? So I'm going to start this off with just being clear. I'm not calling this a robbery. I'm not going to sit here and scream that Nakatani didn't deserve to possibly get the decision or anything like that. This was a competitive fight, and honestly, it could have gone either way. You know what I mean? If you asking me, my opinion, I had it a draw. But there's something really important that has to be said about how the way this all played out, in all honesty, because I feel like a lot of people ain't speaking on this. And why this whole thing just doesn't sit right with me overall. You know what I'm saying? When really looking at the fight early on, Junto looked shitty sharp, man. You know what I'm saying? He was timing Hernandez beautifully, landing that hard left hand that he always, has in the toolbox, mixing in the uppercuts, and was clearly showing to be the cleaner boxer. You know what I mean? Showing the cleaner boxing, I should say. The first couple rounds, cool. Junto was doing his thing. It looked like it was Nakatani's fight. I thought he was going to get the stoppage early on, but as the fight went on, everything started to change. Around like the fourth round, I'm going to say Hernandez just made it up in his head like, yo, I ain't about to just be here and be another opponent. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to get this dub. And he started pressing forward, walking Nakatani down, pushing him to the ropes, and forcing him to fight uncomfortably. Like, Junto looked very uncomfortable in there throughout the course of the fight, especially in the later rounds. Hernandez was landing to the body. He was applying constant pressure, and he was winning real moments in the fight. No cap. That's effective aggression. That's what you call ring generalship, and that's what was supposed to be scored throughout the fight. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you started to see vulnerabilities in Nakatani. His power didn't have the same effect that it had at 118 pounds. We're used to, what we're used to, we didn't see tonight. Hernandez wasn't intimidated, wasn't backing off, wasn't discouraged. Then the fatigue really started to show on Nakatani's side. His output dropped. His legs didn't look conditioned for 12 rounds. And he kept ending up stuck on the ropes, getting outworked. This wasn't some dominant, clear win for Nakatani. This was a gritty, back-and-forth competitive fight that could have reasonably gone 7-5 either way, or a draw, like how I had it. You see what I'm saying? And that's why the decision bothers me, in all honesty, man. When I looked at them judges' scorecards, it's not even the fact that Nakatani won, but it's how he won. Because, let's be real about the business, right? They need Nakatani versus Inoue in May of 2026. They already had announced that. They just assumed that they was going to steamroll their opponents, and there was going to be a massive fight in Japan. That's marketing. That's ticket sales. There's a storyline behind it. So whether anyone wants to admit it or not, Nakatani was the guy that needed to come out of tonight with his hand raised. And I told everybody in the group chat that was what was going to happen, regardless of whether we liked it or not. And that's why this didn't feel like a fight that was judged round by round. It felt like a fight that was judged by who boxing needed to win. You know what I mean? I think that's the best way that I could say it in reality. And to make it even worse, the fact that it was a unanimous decision was crazy to me. Like, in a fight this competitive that could have went either way, in a fight this back and forth, a unanimous decision just feels weird. Ain't that right, son? You know what I mean? If you weren't going to call it a draw, this is the type of fight that should have leaned closer to a split decision, worst case scenario. But then one judge fucked around and scored it 10 rounds to 2. I'm like, what the fuck? That is disgraceful. There's absolutely no universe in boxing where Hernandez only won 2 rounds in this fight. That's not bad judging for real. That's dismissive. That's disrespectful. That tells me Hernandez was basically never going to get the fair credit regardless of what he did unless he knocked Nakatani, the motherfucking Kingdom Come. I feel like that's the only way he could have got this fight. And that's why I feel bad for Hernandez. I feel bad for Sebastian, man, because he fought his ass off. He didn't fold. He didn't come to lay down. He made this a real fight when a lot of people didn't expect him to. He earned respect. But unfortunately, this is boxing. The shit that we don't like about boxing showed tonight. And if he truly knew the game himself, Sebastian, he probably should have known what he was walking into. You know what I mean? With the circumstances, with the stakes, with the Inoue fight sitting right there waiting, he either had to knock Nakatani out or put on an undeniable performance of a lifetime. Anything less than that, and the house favorite was always going to get the benefit of the doubt, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's how I seen it. Man, I don't really know what else to say outside of that, but no, I'm not yelling robbery. I'm not saying Nakatani absolutely shouldn't have gotten the nod after watching it a couple times. You know what I'm saying? But I am saying this fight could have gone either way. I personally had it a draw. The unanimous decision was wild, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And that 10-2 card was absolutely embarrassing. That judge needs to be investigated in all honesty, man. And when you factor in the business behind it, it's really hard to believe, for real, Hernandez ever truly had a fair chance. You see what I'm saying? But that's my whole assessment of this situation, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. This is Marcus Rosa, a.k.a. Mazuma CV, signing off. I'll be on live in a few, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to continue cooking up on what's going on in the boxing world. Until then, I hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.